Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make some blend shapes on our character. We're going to make some for the faces here. There's a couple ways of doing this. One is to do this. You would, first off, what you want to do is you go through and do Edit, delete all by type, History, do Modify, Freeze Transformations. Just make sure the model is perfect and done. Because once you do this, you can't do anything else, okay? So, I select the model. Now, if you have your model in multiple pieces, you want just the face. I have his body as part of the whole face, so I'm just going to do the whole body. One way to do it, and don't do it this way, I'm just showing you, is you would create duplicates like so. This is kind of the old way of doing it. And apparently, I have him locked, so I got to right-click and unlock selected. So you'd make a duplicate, Control-D, make another duplicate, Control-D, make another duplicate. You just make however many duplicates you need. Then you would take all three of those, lastly this, and you do, make sure you're under rigging, and you go to deform, blend shape. And what will happen is, I'm just going to go ahead and just show you. So imagine I did a blend shape and it looks like this, right? Super great. On him now, you can go here and, I don't know which number this one, so this is James G01, that's how it actually names them. I could take this, and if I minimum button, click and drag, it will actually apply that blend shape. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. That's not the way we're going to do it right now. I'm just going to undo all that real quick. Okay, and let's see when I got the one dude. Great. Yeah. So what we're going to do is you're going to take this guy, make sure in rigging, and you're going to go to Windows, Animation Editors, and you're going to go to the Shape Editor. Okay. With him selected, create blend shape. And it's going to make this one. I'm going to rename it. We're going to call it face. Apparently I had caps lock on. Face lens. Make sure there's no spaces. Notice I used camel case. And I'll just hit enter. Excuse me. Okay. So now we have this face blends. And this is kind of the master node. And if you actually look over on the model, you see on their inputs, it's right there. Alright. Now what we want to do is we just want to add targets. Now if you don't have it selected, you see it won't let you click on it. So you have to have it selected. I'm going to add a target. Okay. And I can add as many targets as I want. I'm just going to do a couple to start with, and then you can look at the list that you should make, and you can just go from there. Alright, so here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do mouth wide. Let's try that again. Apparently can't. There you go, wide. Alright, so I just double click on it, rename it. And you'll notice right now, see how it says red edit? If I click that off, I'm not in that mode. If I click it on, now it's on. Okay, so this means that it's like recording. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edge, and I put on Object X, so it'll do it on both sides. And I'm just going to grab this corner edge here. And another thing I'm going to do, just to show you, I'm going to click on the little tool settings here. And underneath where it says soft select, I'm going to make sure it says surface and not volume. Surface usually works a little bit better for this. Alright, so I'm just going to take and hold B, tap B to turn soft select on. Hold B, click and drag to adjust the strength of it. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make his mouth. Let's go a little bit wider. I'm going to make his mouth a little bit back and wider like this, and I'm also going to kind of pitch it like that so it looks a little bit like that. Alright, one is cheeks to crease a little bit, so I'm actually going to grab, I'm going to turn on it B for soft select, turn that back off, and actually I'm going to turn it a little bit on, but I'm going to bring it down quite a bit. And we'll grab this one too. And I'm just going to kind of pull this back over. And then I'm going to go to vertices. Grab this one, kind of pull it back over. I would spend a lot of time trying to make this look nice, but for intents and purposes, I don't want to take forever on it. So go back to object mode. Okay. So you see, kind of like that, right? Now you'll notice that when I take this, I could see what it's doing. Okay. Now, when you're done with that one, and I would do a little bit better job than I did, because it's okay, I guess. If you click edit, that's going to turn it back off, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that down so that it's not on anymore. Click back on this guy. We're going to add another target. Okay, and you see it automatically puts it into the recording mode. And we'll call this one mouth narrow. Okay. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing basically. I'm going to go to edge and grab in here. And I don't know which one I grabbed. Not the one I wanted. Right there. Okay, and I'm going to take my soft select, B, click and drag. And I'm going to try and pull this in like so. And pull this down a little bit. I'm going to double click this edge loop. Take this down a little bit, because if he pushed his lips in, it would kind of go, it would push, or, you know, if he squeezed his lips, it would kind of push him out. Okay, so it looks like that. Alright, almost looks like he's kissing. We're going to call that good. And actually, for that matter, I'm going to turn the edit back off. I'm going to turn this one back on. I'm going to make sure it's all the way up. I feel like his lips here should actually go back a little bit. So I'm going to grab those and push it back a touch. Like that. Turn that one back off. Okay. So that's mouth wide and narrow. Now, I could do some other things. And go ahead and create... make sure I got this selected. Go ahead and do the eyes closing. So I'm going to go ahead and add another target, and we'll just say blink. Alright. And I am going to grab these top two here. Take my soft select. I don't want to grab them. I want to get to basically just about so it doesn't touch the middle there. I'm just going to take this and kind of pull it down, and I'm also going to rotate it like that a little bit. Alright, so that it covers basically the eyeball. Now usually if you look, you'll notice your upper eyelid goes a little bit lower than your lower eyelid. And I'm at 4 so I can see the other one. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Back to 5. Wireframe mode, I mean. Alright, so, and I'm just going to take this and pull this one up. Alright, now I'm going to turn soft select back off and just kind of micromanage this to make sure that everything is on the up and snuff here. So, if you look, you can see this eyelid here isn't quite down as far as it should. I'm going to pull that down so it's a little bit looser. I'm going to take this one, pull that one down. That looks okay. And we're going to take this, pull this one up. And we're going to take this one, pull that one up. I just want to make sure that these eyes are actually closed. So let's bring these down more. Pull that one down quite a bit. And take this and this one. And I'm just going to squeeze those. Alright, and we'll grab this one and squeeze those. Alright, and now if you look, you'll see it'll look like his eyes are closing. Okay? Now, might want to massage that a bit more. So you can also, well, I'll show you in the next one. Now there is one issue with this blink. All right, I'm just going to show you. So I have these eyelids, or these eyelashes. Let me open this up. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these so they're not confusing you. But what you'll notice is when I turn this on, notice how the eye actually cuts into it. And the reason for that is this. If you look, these vertices are going to move linearly interpolate from here to the next position. So they just go straight from one position to the next. The problem with it is that the eyeball's round. So it's going to cut a straight path through a round object. Okay, so this actually isn't honestly terrible, but yours might be worse off. So I'm just going to show you how to fix that. What we're going to do is we're going to create what's called an in-between blend shape. So I'm going to go, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this. You could do this two ways. One, you could just go like this and find where it's the worst. You know what I mean? And you could do multiple ones of these. I'm just going to make one, which isn't going to look as good as it could be. But I'm just going to go ahead and put mine right at 0.5. So I'm going to say right at 0.5, about halfway in between. And then I'm going to do is go to create. Got to select it first. Go to create, and we're going to do an add in between target. Okay? And you can see it does this little thing, and it automatically says 0.5. That means that that's when this is going to kick in. Notice at this turn, notice how it looks a little bit different. Now what I'm going to do is on this one, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to go ahead and you go object mode, click off. Here we go. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out so that it's not penetrating. And I'll do the same thing for the one underneath. 4 and grab that, and 5. And I'm just gonna pull that out. Alright. And voila. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back off. And now what you're gonna notice is we can't really control anything with this, but notice that has a little tick here. And so what's gonna happen is it's halfway in between when this blends, it's gonna kick into the other one. Now you can probably see an issue with it, and there are ways to fix this, but I'm not going to bother with it right now, that it kind of linearly goes there and then down, but it's still better than what it was. So you could add more stops. That's probably the easiest way. So you would just go here, maybe 0.25, do one, and then another one. Well, you don't really need one there, but you could add another one if you felt like it was necessary. In fact, I'll just do it 0.25, and then I'm going to go ahead and create add in between target. And we'll just do kind of the same thing. Just going to pull this out a little bit, take this one and pull it out a little bit like that. Turn that back off. And now you'll notice again if I go like this. All right. So that's a way of kind of fixing your in-between of your blends. Okay. So and I'm just going to hit a little minus on this so it doesn't look so complicated. But that's a nice little thing you can kind of do to kind of edit that. All right. Yay. All right. Now, let's do another one. Oh, let's do the brows here. Okay. So I am going to quickly do something. I'm going to do this off camera because right now if you look, my eyebrows don't follow my guy because it's a separate piece of geometry. I'm just going to fix that real quick. And then I'll come back to this. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to make it so the eyebrows do, but I don't want you to know how to do it because you shouldn't do that yet. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to add another blend shape. And I'm just going to do inner brow up, and we're going to have an inner brow down. All right, so to make them look sad or angry, kind of. So we're going to have them selected. I'm going to create blend shape. And this is just another way of, oops, sorry, not create blend shape. Have them selected. Make sure I select this, add target. Okay. And automatically does the thing here, and I'm just going to do inner brow up. Okay. And I'm just going to show you another way of working. So one, I could use like we have been doing, just modeling it, but you can also, if your model isn't broken, you can use the sculpting tools, which you might find are useful. So I'm going to use this grab one. I'm hold B, click and drag to the left. So you might notice like, oh man, it's not working. It's because either the thing is too big, oh mine was too small, or it's too small. What you can do if you can't see it and it's not working the way you want, go to the tool settings, and you see what it says size. Just make it all the way to 0 so that it's like not anything, and then just B, click and drag up. Okay. Now you see that little line that's there, see that line that pops up? That's actually the strength. Okay. So right now it's on 100%, which is oops, oh, that's weird. Go above 100. Well, anyway, I'm going to close out of that. So I'm just going to use this one. This is the grab, okay? And I'm just going to use grab, and I'm going to kind of pull this up a little, and we'll pull it out a little. All right, something like that. All right. And I'm going to also use this sculpt, and just to have it come out a little bit. And so I'm holding B to change the brush size. I'm going to do M for strength. This is how far it's going to jet out. So watch. It's too much. So Control Z. All right. There it goes. All right. So I'm going to go M, and I'm bringing it down a bit here, and B, and I'm just going to kind of push this out a little bit. Okay, like that. All right. And you can see up. Could probably go more, honestly. It's better to go too far than to not go far enough. So I'm just gonna bring this up like that, and then we'll create another blend shape, and I'm just gonna take this one down. Oops, I meant create another target. Bring this one back down so it's not competing with that one, and rename this one inner brow down. Okay, and let's do the same thing. I'm going to use this grab, and I'll kind of pull it down like so, not affecting the outside too much. Will be to change the brush size, and now I'm going to hold Shift, which is smooth, to try and smooth it out a little bit because it was getting a little rough there. Just kind of pull these down a little. I'll use this sculpt here just to pull it out a little bit, like that. Okay, so now you'll see up and down. So, and we will just sculpt a little bit more down here to get it to. Oops, that was a little too much. I'm gonna hold Shift just to smooth that. All right, use the grab. All right. So that should give you a rough idea of how to make the blend shapes. All right. So make sure you're making all the ones. Oops, mouth wide is still on. It's partly why I think he looks so evil. So I'll take this one up, and you can see we may go dun, 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 dun. We got blink, right? We've got mouth narrow and mouth wide. You're gonna notice that most of the time what you're gonna do is you're gonna make two opposite ones. So I have inner brow down, inner brow up. You'll have outer brow up, outer brow down. You'll have mouth narrow, mouth wide. You could do, besides blink here, I could do, eyes wide and actually open them up more. So like if you're scared kind of a thing. You might want to do other things too, where you do just individually, like only the lower brow and only the upper brow, that sort of thing. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with it. All right, I'm just going to turn that back off. And so, yeah, but there you go. So that's how to make, generally how to make blend shapes. But you should make for the assignment more than this. Look at the list and make them from that. All of the shapes basically that you're going to need for your film.